Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 BMW M440i. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this coupe for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This M440i is finished off in Dravit Gray Metallic. Its MSRP is just over $72,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's paired to the 48-volt hybrid system along with the 8-speed automatic. It pumps out 386 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque. The model in front of us is rear-wheel drive. It weighs in right around 3,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. Top speed is 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 24 miles per gallon in the city, 32 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.2 inches. Its overall length is 188. It has a width of 72.9, a height of 54.6, and its ground clearance measures in just over 5 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, the headlights are different from the previous model. We still have a dark housing, but everything is LED. And then this still retains the kidney design for the grille. It's finished off in gloss black for this model, where there's the forward-facing camera, there's the M badge, a few parking sensors, and then plenty of cutouts in that grille to provide a lot of cooling. There's also cutouts in the lower section of that grille, as well as the inlets on both sides. And then there's very subtle lines that come down the hood. Now, I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but the Dravit Gray Metallic has a really nice color to it when that sunlight hits it at the right angle. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a really nice set of gloss black wheels, along with having the red M Sport brake calipers. There's also gloss black for the power folding side mirrors that have the camera and the turn signal. This model also features a sunroof too. It has the premium package, the park assistance package as well, so we have a few options for this model. There's also some nice lines in the lower section of the door there. And then as we work our way to the back, this has gloss black for the trunk mounted spoiler. There's the backup camera, LED taillights that have the fiber bundle design, which is really neat. There's all the parking sensors, gloss black in the lower diffuser there, and then the dual exhaust on both sides. Now you can also use the key fob to remote start this, and then you can use the key fob or the button up underneath to open up the power trunk. Now, being a coupe, this is still something that is practical. There's a little bit of storage on the left as well as on the right. There's no storage underneath the floor, but you can fold down the back seats. So when you pull on those tabs, that gives you a lot more interior storage for any items that you need. And then you can use the buttons up top to close the trunk or lock the vehicle as well. And then as we move to the interior, this has a pretty subtle interior, but it's very nice with all of the leather, all of the stitching. There's the memory seating adjustments, your window and side mirror controls, all the brushed aluminum accents, Harman Kardon for the audio, and then you have the trunk release and some storage in that lower section. And then the black leather works its way to these sporty seats that are automatic. There's one manual adjustment, however, so you have the leg support that you can use as needed. Now, this is a two-doored 4-seater, so when you move that backrest, the seat is going to slide forwards, giving me access to hop into the back. So at 5'10", it's not all that bad. You have plenty of legroom. There's also the climate vents. My head is just touching the headliner here. So I could ride around town. It's not a long-term or a long-distance vehicle, but I could ride around and be nice and comfortable. Right in the middle, you have the armrest as well as cup holders. So you can place your drinks there. You can also fold down this middle seat if you need to as well. And then you have plenty of visibility, so it's very open feeling in the back. You can place car seats, small kids in the back, or full-size adults like myself. So it makes it very practical, which is nice. Now, as we hop into the driver's seat for the 25-year model, this has the flat bottom design for the steering wheel that's finished in leather. There's a red stripe up top, lots of brushed aluminum accents. But let's start this up, take a listen to how this M440i sounds. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll see on the left side there's miles per hour, on the right side there's the tach, and then you can go through some info right in the middle by using this button over on the right side. So you have content that you can scroll through, and you can monitor all of this right in the middle. And then you can also adjust the layout. So if you'd like to see this in a little bit different of a configuration, you have a few settings there, as well as being able to go through the head-up display. So there's a few there that you can go through as needed. Now this also has paddle shifters on both sides. There's volume and tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands, cruise control settings on the left. On the left side of the steering wheel, you have all the headlight adjustments. There's also one air vent. And then as we work our way to the infotainment system, you have quite a lot to go through. You can get into your music, all of these apps like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, your interior lighting. You can get into the home screen here, where you have information on that right side, as well as some on the left side that you can still go through. You have your climate adjustments. There's also navigation and music. And then in the fixed lower section, you have your heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and your temperature adjustments. Now this model also has the optional carbon fiber. There's air vents underneath that. You have volume and tuning. This also is equipped with wireless charging, as well as the auxiliaries and cup holders, and then more carbon fiber for that lid. There's also shortcuts for the screen up top, so you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. You can use those dials as needed. Now to put this into reverse, simply just push that forwards, where this has the 360 camera system. There's automatic parking and the backup assistance, so you have no shortage of visibility around the entire vehicle. There's also drive and sport mode, and then park is located on the back. Now you have traction control, a shortcut to the forward-facing camera, so you can pull that up. There's parking sensors, as well as the engine start-stop, and then you have 3 different driving modes. So there's sport, comfort, and eco, and you can configure sport and eco with a few different settings. There's auto hold in the e-brake, a little bit of storage with an auxiliary in the armrest. There's also plenty of storage in the glove box. And then up top you have the garage door buttons, rear view mirror, and the adjustments for that sunshade and sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility. We have some very small pillars back there, so you can easily see over that right side, as well as the left side too. You have that window there that you can clearly see through. As we set off now behind the wheel for this M440i, this is the second one that I've been able to check out so far. So we have a different color scheme, a few different options for this particular model. This is a really neat luxury-focused coupe from BMW. Now also today, I did review this against the M4. So if you want to take a look at that video, that's a full separate head-to-head comparison. So I've been able to really have some good seat time behind the wheel of both this and the M4. If you're not looking for that next level, more of that hardcore sports car track-ready vehicle, the M440i is a great option to go with because you still get some of the M Sport handling and characteristics. So going around that turn at a normal speed, it is super solid and planted. You don't get quite all of the different adjustments. You just have a few here that you can go through. So that way you're modulating the throttle response, but you don't have the suspension, the exhaust, anything like that that you can go through. But you can still have a lot of fun with this nonetheless. It's quick in sport mode, paddles are super responsive, and you're going to have a vehicle that's going to be a little bit more daily driver friendly. Since it's not as raw feeling as the M4, this is certainly something that you can daily drive. It's going to be very practical, it's very quiet, well refined. It's a luxurious BMW coupe with some of that added performance being the M, not quite the full M version, but you get the M obviously with this package. So it's a nice step below the M4 if you just want something that you could take occasionally to the mountains, maybe take it to the track. This is something that still has those driving characteristics, but not nearly on the same level as the M4. So enough talking about the M4. The 440i though, really nice option. You have a lot of different options that you can go with. However, the pricing for the M440i is not really that large. There's about a $3,000 difference or so between a base and a fully loaded model. So you can get rear wheel drive like this. You can also get all wheel drive. So that's basically the two major differences. And then all the trim accents are going to differ as well. But it handles well. Let's put it back into sport mode so we can do another acceleration from second gear here. And it sounds good. It's not all that loud, but even if you put it into the normal setting, you will have a slight difference in how the vehicle will shift. So from sport mode to eco mode, the vehicle is going to shift differently by itself. So you have a few different characteristics with this model, just depending on the drive that you are doing. And as we come up to another right-hand turn, it feels pretty much like the M4. It's not quite there, but you do get the turns, the handling characteristics, which is really nice. So you can have fun driving this on some back mountain roads and just have kind of a leisure time taking it while still having those handling characteristics, which is nice. And we are still in sport mode. We'll go to second gear. Here we go. And a mild acceleration, we're up to speed. Sounds good, paddles are very responsive. And this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the all-new 440i. Definitely a really nice interior and a great vehicle. It's going to give you that luxury drive. So if you want something that has that feel to it, really no road noise, no wind noise, very comfortable, this would make for a great daily driver. It's also very practical too, with the back seat space and the cargo space. So that way, this could be your only vehicle and you can pack in quite a lot of items if you need to. And so if you want something that gives you a little bit of performance, it's not crazy like the M4 like I've mentioned, but if you want a little bit of performance, especially if you compare this to the 430i, which is another step below. We have a lot less power, basically more of a coupe to drive around in. This is a coupe that gives you a little bit of performance. So if you want kind of that middle ground, this is a good option to go with. And it's really nice to drive. Suspension is absorbing bumps well, so I really don't have any concerns with that. Pretty easy to see. It's a maneuverable vehicle too. It's not all that large. So parking lot situations, things like that, tighter areas, you are going to be able to drive this and maneuver it very well. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 BMW M440i. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this coupe for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.